In a previous video, I showed you the online version of my creativity activity that was in the book. Now let me show you exactly how it was created, all the tools that were involved in it. I think you'll find it's pretty interesting. There is more you can do with the online tools now than maybe you imagined, and that's I'm talking about for free. So let's dig in. Here's the home page, and it contains the informed consent. Okay, so what is this? This is not a Google Slides. I know that those have become very, very popular. This is a Google site. So if you are in your Google Drive, you would go over here to New, and you might not see it right away, so you may have to go to the More, but there's Google Sites, and that's what you want to create. You're creating a website, really, rather than just a presentation. And you'll see that it's very user-friendly, right? You would just change the text in here. That's pretty straightforward. Change the name of the site. It has all these neat tools on the right. If you're not familiar, if you are familiar with these, feel free to skip to the next part of the video. But you can add text boxes, images from your Google Photos. What's really important, and we'll use this a couple of times in just a little bit, is this embed feature. Very powerful. But also you can add all kinds of other things, buttons, which I use a lot, and you'll see those in the activity. And also YouTube videos, of course, Google Sheets, where students will keep the data that they've been collecting. Okay, so that's how you create what becomes this page right here. Okay, and then what you'll do from here is you'll be adding pages. What you'll do is go over where it says Pages. Well, you'll have it first. You won't have all these sub-pages. You'll see that everything that I showed in the video about how to set up the activity is a page. It's a separate page, and you simply add them by clicking there, and you can duplicate if you want the same properties or add a sub-page. Okay, so let's go to the next page. After your students have read the informed consent, we come to this page, which is the assigning to conditions. And here's where you'll see that little widget I talked about, which is the random number generator. Where did I get that from? Well, there is a nice little site called random.org. And you'll see that they even have this little random number generator right at the top. So that's fine, but how do you get one of these for yourself? Okay, easily enough, you go to Web Tools and then Widgets for your pages. Okay. And there's the widget. That's what you want. It's called the integer widget. So I'll click on that. And I don't want to change too many things here. I might make it a little bit bigger. You'll notice this is a pretty small little box here. 300 in height. Something like that is fine. And then the only other thing you might change, if you only have 2 groups in your experiment, well then the minimum is 1, the maximum is 2, and that will be all that you really need for this study. Okay, let's say create widget. Okay, what do you get? This is what you'll get, and you can change the colors and do all kinds of customization. Now, how do you get this random number generator onto your Google site? Well, all you have to do is select all this text down here. You don't have to even worry about understanding what it does, but just copy it. Now come back to the site that you're building, and I'll just make a change to this just to show you how this was done. What you need is just simply the embed tool. So embed from the web. You're going to embed that random number generator from that site to your site. So just click on embed code, because that's what you've got here, and do a paste. It'll show you, well, this is what it looks like. Hopefully it's what it like. You can change colors and things if you like. And then there it is on your page right below where I've got mine already. So then you can move it around, etc. But that's the tool you can use to randomly assign participants to conditions. Okay, let's go back and take a look at the other pages. Here's condition number 1. This one's straightforward. This is just a text box with the instructions. And this is an image that I uploaded, and it's now in Google Photos. But again, you would find that you'd go here, oh, I want to insert an image. You go, I either upload or select it if you've already uploaded it. And then you can move it around, and you can do all those kinds of things. But this is a pretty simple page. The only thing it has, which is important, are the buttons that help your participants navigate from page to page. Button is a very easy thing to put in. So it's just down here, just says button. Okay, so let's say I wanted to go from here to the debriefing, which I've already IEF, whatever other page you want participants to go to. Just put a name into it and then just click in the link area, and then the Google site will tell you, well, here's your options, and then you simply choose one of them and say insert, and it'll insert it. All right? So I'm not going to save any of this. Let's go to the other page. Condition 2, same sorts of things. Text box up here, image here, and a button there. All right, debriefing, pretty straightforward page. This is just the title up here and a text box here. But it does have 2 buttons, and you'll notice it's got a home button, right? And I can edit this, and you'll notice that I typed in the word home, and I selected the home page. Pretty straightforward. Data collected, that's again another page in this site, and I will say I want to update that. I would just click that. Okay, so that's all there is in this page. Now, the data page. This was pretty straightforward. So what I wanted to do is, if participants are interested in seeing what the data looks like so far, then who's ever running the activity would have to have previously created a spreadsheet. So again, I'm going to go into my drive, and you can share all of these with your students. And in this case, I've got a spreadsheet already existing called Problem Solving Experiment. Let me just open it. And here's what you'll see. This spreadsheet was embedded into the Google site. And that is just so easy. So I'm going to go back. In this case, all I'm going to do, if this wasn't here already, I'll just delete it just so you can see. I want to insert a sheet. It gives me the list of my sheets. I say, that's the one. It inserts it. And I may have to adjust the size of it a little bit just so everybody can see what I've got here. And there it is. Okay, so the data is there. So your students, when they're running this activity, they keep the spreadsheet open and they enter the data, and that's how. And if you wanted to show the data, you don't have to do this particular thing. But if subjects or participants are curious, you can say, well, here's the data we've got so far. Okay, last piece of this study, the last page, open it up there, is the timer. Now this was really interesting, and this involved a tiny bit of AI. So where did I get this timer from? And if we open it, you'll see it is a lot of code that I don't even understand, but it doesn't matter. So here's the thing. You may not have tried this, and this is where AI comes into play. If you go to Gemini, you could go to other AI tools, Perplexity, and ChatGPT, and Claude. There's all kinds of great ones. And you add in, and you say to it, look, I want a timer. Can you code one for me? Because I'm going to embed that into my Google site. So let me show you the prompt that I used, the text that created that timer. Okay, I'm going to paste it in here. And this will be available right below the video. But you're basically just telling Gemini, or whatever AI tool you use, please create a timer using only HTML. Timer should count up from 0 seconds and stop at 300 seconds. That would be 5 minutes. Please give the timer these features. Display the minutes and seconds, give me a stop and a start button, include a pause button, resume the count, and the resume button is clicked. Reset the timer, visual feedback, color changes, stops automatically when it reaches 300 seconds. So you have to really tell it, and display the buttons horizontally, exactly what you'd like. And you may not get it as quite the right way you want it, but you just tell it, okay, change this or change that. Now let's look at what happens after I give it these instructions. As you see, it is creating the code. Now, some AI tools will actually create a preview for you so you can see it, and which is kind of cool. Copy that code, come over here. Let me go to the page that has the timer, and I'll just add another timer in. This is the all-important embed code. So I'm going to embed it, go to embed code, I'm going to paste it, say next. Now that's what it looks like. That's not bad. I can take that. It looks a little different than that one up there, but that's fine. I could always tell it, center the numbers or something along those lines. And then I can move it over here. Then when I publish the site, and at this point I believe I can just preview. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go up to preview. Opens a new page. There's my old timer, and there's my new one. All right, so I can start it, and it'll gather the data for me. So those are all of the tools in this project. Let me just review them for you. It's a home page that contains just text, but a next button. This page here, which is your random assignment to conditions. It's got 2 of them there. And this came from the random.org site. Very helpful. The condition page is pretty straightforward. It just has text and an image. But it does have at this point, this group, the group 1, or condition 1, once they're done doing their brainstorming, then it's time to go to the debriefing. It's over. So the Google site will skip over condition 2. That person doesn't need to see that, and go straight to the debrief section. And here's condition 2. Again, does the same thing, skips or goes to the debrief page. Debrief page, very straightforward, just text. This button will take it home. This button will take you to the data collected. And again, that's under Insert Buttons. And then we'll go to the data page. This is an embedded spreadsheet. Again, this was Insert, and you come down here, Sheet, and there you go. You choose the sheet that you must have already created where you're collecting your data. And then finally the timer, and this is, you may not need one of these, but this is helpful for you and your students to have, and you can have this count up. You can have a timer that counts down, right? And remember that all of that was created, in this case, by the Google AI called Gemini. And if you want to create a timer, if you just want that text even, feel free to do that. It'll be below the video. And that is it. You have got yourself an activity that I think students will really find interesting. I hope you found this interesting, and when you get a chance, check out the book. Lots of activities here, and I'll be translating them into online equivalents. So I think you'll find this really interesting and keep your students really engaged in a good learning experience. Okay, take care.